Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back to TIMBP Live. My name is Perry, if you've never been here before, or if you're watching on the replay. It is very good to be back. Very good to be here. Thank you so much. Apologies for missing last week. It was unavoidable. Because when family needs support, you're there for family, I tell you what. And that's exactly what I was doing last week, was supporting family. A little bit of an update for those of you who do not know. It has been a busy week for the Ritter family. We're very excited and very much looking forward to why is the sun not showing up? Maybe it needs to be on my other desktop. There we are. It's just gonna take up the whole daggum screen, isn't it? Look at that. Little baby Ritter. We got a new little baby Ritter on the way. For anyone who doesn't know. They're just gonna be hanging out in the corner there for the for most of the stream, I think. Yeah, Eden's gonna be a big sister. But we announced it on Saturday. Here's the little one. I'll blow it up just a bit so everybody can see. Cute little face. Very active, mobile little baby so far. Popped up on the ultrasound screen and was just moving around like crazy, and man, you forget how real it is until you see them again. So good stuff. Hey, if it's your first time here, if you're watching on the replay, thank you so much for doing so. Subscribe to the show if you have not done so already. Hit the like, please, as well. Lick the like the lick, of course, as those familiar with the stream do. If you would like to support the show through Snuffy Chats, you can do so by heading to the Stream Elements link, which is in the description below. It is also pinned at the top of the comment section, both on Twitch and on YouTube. It goes to support our main man back here, Mr. Snuffleupagus, the patron saint of TIMBP Live. That is right. He is the main man himself, but as you might notice, he is also joined by a new friend this week. For the first time ever, making his debut on TIMBP Live. A friend from another YouTube channel, watcher, that is the professor from a wonderful show puppet history on YouTube. The professor might not always be here, but he is at least visiting for a while. Keeping Snuffy company because Snuffy never does have enough company. But at the very least, he is here. But Snuffy chats are our method of super chatting. It is a great way to support the show. But if you cannot do so, just hitting the subscribe button is a great way to do so as well. Speaking of Twitch, also, we are trying to go live more on Twitch to get to affiliate status. That is not just bourbon content that we are doing over there, trying to play some more video games, trying to do things that is more Twitch geared. Got that set up recently, and it has been a lot of fun. Haven't streamed in a few weeks because I have been extra busy, but we will we'll get there. We'll get there. Hold on, let me move. Let me move Baby Ritter out of the way. New Baby Ritter. They're not really out of the way. I thought I'd move them a bit, but here we are. I should probably say hello to folks in chat. Swan was first. Swan, I miss you. I hope you are doing well. But it is good to see you. Why is that the title that's showing up on Twitch? Because that is not correct. Oh, come on. Paste. There we go. Whatever. Anyway, Swan was here first. Tony Bag of Donuts. Hello, Mr. Beam. Hello to you, Tony. I hope you have been well. Been stirring the pot per usual, Swan says on Discord the past couple of days. I'm glad you've been. It can get a little stale sometimes, and I've been enjoying your pot stirring. And Sugar Kitty's here. Says, meow. It is good to see you, Sugar Kitty. I hope that you have had a good couple of weeks. Hope you enjoyed your free couple of hours. Free, quote unquote. I'm sure there were other streams that you were managing last week. And old prescription bourbon. Hello, Dave. Cheers, Perry, and all. Cheers to you, my friend. Hope things are well. I have not yet poured anything, but I would very much like to. Oh, you know what else? You know what else? This is a huge thing. This is hugely important. Hugely, hugely important. TIMBP weekend tickets are currently... Brian Bernicke, cheers, Terry Ritter. Hello, hello, Brian. Good to see you, buddy. TIMBP Weekend 2024 tickets are on sale right now for Patreon supporters. They will go live for everybody next Wednesday. They will be available outside of the Patreon community on Wednesday, but they are running through the Patreon community at the moment. There's a grand total of 20 that will be available. After that, there will only be live show tickets that will be available. So be on the lookout for that. If you want to get in on all of our festivities that will take place over Memorial Day weekend, starting on the well, technically the evening of the 23rd, that Thursday. So I won't be live May 23rd because we will be doing TIMBP weekend shenanigans. You can right now, you don't want to miss out. Patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast and support the show. But next Wednesday, they will be available for the general public. And then we will also have live show tickets available very soon. We will have the guests announced as well for the live show before too long. We are still working out who is going to be a part of that. I do not have that confirmed as of right now, but based on who we are trying to get, it is going to be some stellar folks. So I'm very, very excited for it. I have it on good authority that the current crop of VIPers are fairly cool people. I can confirm that the VIP folks who are going to be there for TIMBP Weekend 2024 are awesome. I am thirsty. I have not had anything yet. I have been going fairly light this week as well. If you are caught up to date with the podcast, you know that I have also been on a new weight loss regime, whatever you want to call it, regiment, through the fine folks over at Hims, not a sponsor. Just basically, it's basically diet management, hunger management, more than anything. And it has been extremely effective so far. I'm feeling wonderful. It has reduced my cravings immensely, and that has extended to drinking as well. Feeling great throughout the week, throughout the day, and yeah, here we are. It's been nice. I think if you look at a couple of weeks ago compared to now, my face is getting a little bit slimmer, which is, we're getting there. It's progress. It's not really going to show up for about a month or so in full force, but with the arrival of the second child, which, by the way, if you're coming in just now, like Darren is, who says hello all. Hello to you, Darren. Hope you're doing well. And Zopher. Hey, Perry. Hello to you, Zopher. But if you missed the news from this past weekend, or missed it from the podcast or anything, and you see it on screen right now, the Ritter family is expanding, and we are expecting a new baby due in September. This is our second child. We are extremely excited to be giving Eden a little sibling, which she desperately needs. And I mean that in the kindest way possible. But she needs somebody to balance her out in many ways. But that's enough of that. I am going to pour something up. Not starting out too crazy tonight, but gonna kick things off with old Granddad 114. Thank you, Zopher. Like I said, very excited. It was another surprise, for sure. But a welcome one. It's not that we were not avoiding excuse me, the possibility of another kid, but we were being much more careful than I guess we weren't being as careful as we thought we were, but we were being about as careful as we could have been, and it just it caught us off guard. So we've known basically since January and this Monday was 13 weeks. So everything's gone extremely well so far. Lucy's been very healthy, thankfully. She's felt great. The baby has progressed incredibly well. We're just, everything's going according to plan, but we can't be more thankful. I gotta move the ultrasound again. I can't find a good spot for it. But anyway, I'll say a big old cheers because the family's growing. And I hope you guys have had a good week. Thank you for being here. TIMBP Live, kicking it off with a bang. And my tummy said, "What's happening here?" All right, folks. Let's get to some dadgum news. Hold on. Sorry. Nope. That's not what I was looking for. Could you go away, please? Yes, I would like to remove that. Hang on. We're working on it. We're working on it. What are y'all drinking, by the way? Tammy and Brian with the $20 Snuffy Chat. Cheers and congrats on Eden becoming the best big sissy. Love to you and Lucy. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. You guys are the best. And I love you. There we go. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Where's my camera? I'm getting there. I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. There we go. Look at this. This is fabulous. This is what I've been trying. This is how I should have done it forever ago. Look at this. Far and away. Things I'm moving up. Oh. Let's take my name off here too. Cuz you can't see me. There we go. Hopefully you know who I am. All right, let's go ahead and get to the news of the week. We're going to kick things off with talking about the newest release from one Woodford Reserve Distillery. The most expensive release ever to come out of Woodford, a $15,000 bottle in honor of the 150th running of the Kentucky Derby. Sponsor, Woodford Reserve, of course, of the Derby. The winner of the 2024 Derby will be presented with a bottle here. Only $100 per year. That is true. This decanter embodies the spirit of Kentucky and the spectacle of the Derby, said Woodford Master Distiller Elizabeth McCall. What makes this bourbon so special? It's triple aged, and the staves of the third aging cask were seasoned in the actual Kentucky Derby Winners Circle at Churchill Downs Racetrack in Louisville, Kentucky. Master Distiller Emeritus Chris Morris with Master Distiller Elizabeth McCall here in this picture. So it was seasoned at the staves of the third aging cask were seasoned in the Winner's Circle at Churchill Downs. Weird. I'd have to drink that bottle with a straw. Absolutely. I mean, it's pretty. It's fine. I'm not like, I mean, it doesn't look really any different from the other Baccarat bottle that they did. Not saying that it like has to be, but it's, I mean, for $15,000 it better be like the best bourbon you've ever had. Anyway, so it was the original bourbon barrel that it was first aged in, a cognac cask, and of course the Couture barrel whose staves were seasoned in the Kentucky Derby Winner's Circle. It comes in a Baccarat crystal decanter with a bespoke leather carrying case and a crystal stopper infused with gold. Lord. Does that look like the Baccarat bottle? Doesn't it? If I could spell. Yeah. I mean, it's almost identical. Is it not? Yeah, they're almost a 1-to-1. Very, very similar. Only 150 bottles are available of the special edition. Is the bottle made of transparent aluminum? If this sounds terrific and you've got $15,000 burning a hole in your pocket but no potential Derby runner lined up, a limited number of bottles will be available to buy on Woodford's website and at the Distillery gift shop beginning on March 28th. So are Couture barrels going to be the new thing? Aren't they kind of they feel like they are already in some capacity. I mean, there's already some like weird stuff that people are doing. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it is now. But I don't know. I don't feel like it's being described in as many words, if that makes sense. There's one other way to get a shot at this rare and special bourbon. One bottle will be auctioned at the Backside Learning Center, which assists families who work on the backside of Churchill Downs caring for the horses. That is very cool. That is super, super cool. What does the bourbon taste like? Now, this is one of the few instances where I'm okay with talking about tasting notes because Lord knows I would... there's no chance of me tasting this. And I don't see any reason not to talk about tasting notes in this case. So, according to the tasting notes, it has a rich floral and red fruit nose with honey, oak, and brown spices. On the palate, it's brown sugar, caramelized citrus peel, rich toasted oak, caramel, warming spices, and dried dark fruit. The finish is big, bold, with a long, smooth fruit and spice presence. In 2021, Woodford Reserve released its first Baccarat edition in duty-free shops in airports around the world at a price of $1,500. No media sample? I've not heard anything, but I will keep everybody posted. Do I have to become a jockey and win the race to get that bottle? Hold my beer. Zopher, I will let you do the legwork on that one to find out if find out the likelihood of that happening. But I wouldn't bet on it, my friend. Best of luck, though. Best of luck to you. Hey, Clifton. Cheers. Cheers to you, buddy. I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. All right, moving on to other notable sporting events. Elijah Craig Bourbon celebrates the PGA Championship, returning to Louisville, Kentucky with a commemorative bottle release and on-course activations as the official bourbon of the 2024 Major Championship. Fans will have the opportunity to toast the momentous occasion with a special edition Elijah Craig Bourbon bottling available nationwide. Elijah Craig welcomes the 2024 PGA Championship back to Louisville, Kentucky, and Valhalla Golf Club after a decade away. To celebrate, Elijah Craig, the official bourbon supplier, will activate the Elijah Craig Bourbon Speakeasy on the course for spectators to enjoy, as well as release a special commemorative edition of its Elijah Craig small batch in honor of the 2024 PGA Championship. Elijah Craig will activate on site during the championship at the 14th hole of the course, aptly named On the Rocks, from May 18th to 19th, and during practice rounds. Oh, sports. Bye. Oh, Elijah Craig. I'm back. Throughout the course, spectators can also find Elijah Craig featured in a signature cocktail at concessions. Off-site area consumers will find displays and engagement opportunities at retail and bar locations promoting Elijah Craig's exclusive sponsorship. Travelers visiting the Heaven Hill Bourbon Experience in Bardstown, Kentucky will enjoy special Elijah Craig golf cocktails and co-branded merchandise to welcome those from near and far. This special bottling, it's got PGA branding on it. Nothing like too out of the norm. It's pulled uniquely from Rickhouse's P1G and A. So PGA, and it's a SRP of $36.99. I'm curious what it tastes like just based on those warehouses, because I don't know of any other Elijah Craig releases that have specific warehouses in that capacity. And look at the bottle too. I don't want to download it. I just want to view it. Never mind. Anyway, it's cool. It's different. Somewhat. Moving on, the Bardstown Collection. 7 distilleries unite for the ultimate bourbon experience in 2024. 7 distilleries, 7 exclusive bourbons, 1 collection. With 11 unique distillery experiences within 16 miles, Bardstown stands tall as the bourbon capital of the world. Every year, the Kentucky town's vibrant distilling community joins together to release a one-of-a-kind bourbon series, the Bardstown Collection. The collection's grand unveiling, which expands to 7 participating distilleries this year, will take place during the first annual National Bourbon Week, June 11th through 16th, 2024, a celebration of the rich heritage and craftsmanship behind America's native spirit. Yay, 500, less than 500 bottles will be available from each distillery. And they are apparently a testament to the artistry and passion that define Bardstown's bourbon scene. Here are the different participating distilleries. Preservation Distillery. They're releasing a cast-strength blend of their own wheated pot still bourbon, layered with liquid from some of their most precious vintage Kentucky bourbon casks. Were any of these good last year? Never had a chance to try it. I've only had one, and I don't even remember which one it was. Oh, no, it was one from Bardstown Bourbon Company that Chad and Sarah had, and it was quite good. I liked it from what I remember. It had, it was double-barreled. It was double-barreled Discovery 1, if I remember correctly. The Heaven Hill was great. I don't remember I don't know if I ever had the Heaven Hill. Heaven Hill's 2024 release consists of 3 carefully blended barrels aged between 7 and 16 years. The bourbon is bottled at 105 proof. 105 proof and consists of Heaven Hill's traditional bourbon mash bill. The extra aged nature of the bourbon results in blah, blah, blah. Tasting notes. Lux Row features 3 single barrels from their wheat recipe, aged 6 years. These barrels went through an additional toasted finishing process with toasted caramel honey staves for a rich, full-bodied finish. Limestone Branch. There's a 6-year-old 100% pot distilled wheated bourbon made with 28% red winter wheat. Interesting. Yeah, it was like double-barreled Discovery 1, but it also had like some regular original Discovery 1 blended in with it as well. I don't remember for sure off the top of my head. Log Still, 9-year-old Kentucky high rye bourbon that blends blah blah blah, tasting notes, blah blah blah. Sorry, I don't want to read the tasting notes just in case I get to try it. Bardstown, here we go. Bardstown Bourbon Company. Literally no information. Blending innovation with classic Kentucky flavor, Bardstown Bourbon Company's offering to the collection this year is tasting notes. Great. Yo, okay, so here's the one that is like the head turner. Jim Beam's inclusion is a close to 20-year-old bourbon. It is the oldest whiskey that the brand has ever released. I'll say that again. Jim Beam is releasing their oldest bourbon ever for the Bardstown collection. That's crazy. That's nuts. That's the one that if I'm going to pick up a single bottle out of this collection, that's the one. June 14th at 12 p.m. That's a Friday, man. Hey, that's a Friday. If I can be there and it's not going to destroy my wallet, I might have to go get it. That's awesome. This is like, okay, so the way this sounds, National Bourbon Week, it almost sounds like mini Bourbon Heritage Month. It's Bourbon Heritage Week. Attendees can partake in a range of festivities, including special distillery events, curated tastings, unique bourbon education opportunities, and the 21st annual Bourbon City Street Concert. This comprehensive series of experiences is crafted to offer bourbon enthusiasts an unparalleled immersion in the bourbon capital of the world. It literally sounds like mini Bourbon Heritage Month, mini Bourbon Fest. Bardstown Bourbon Fest. I'm sure it's put on by the same people. I'm sure it is. It sounds just like it. There's no way that it's not put on by the same people. There's no way. It sounds so similar to it. Speaking of, by the way, let me switch back to the main cam. This reminds me, because of this little one here, because of their arrival in September, that means that I unfortunately will not be able to attend any of the big bourbon festivals that would normally be that are going to, of course, be happening this year. Kentucky Bourbon Festival, Bourbon and Beyond, and really even Louder Than Life as well. I'm not even really doing any travel for work this year either. It just, like, I've got to be nearby in case anything happens. It just, I can't. And where Eden was a C-section as well, I mean, likely Lucy's gonna have a C-section for the next baby too. So it's probably gonna be earlier than the current due date, which puts us like the weekend of Bourbon and Beyond. So yeah. So I just wanted to say that before I went any further. But anyway, Bardstown Collection sounds fairly interesting this year. Beam release is the one that I'm the most excited for. Moving on. This is just kind of a like, hey, this is cool. This would have been this past week, Pappy Van Winkle's 150th birthday, March 22nd. There's no way that it's not going to be a reason for. Oh, I didn't even think about this. This season not only celebrates Pappy's sesquicentennial, that's fun, but also coincides with the 150th run-in of the Kentucky Derby. So look at that. there's no reason that there's not going to be some way that people are going to, price gouge on this year's Van Winkle bottlings. So keep that in mind. If you see prices go up randomly on secondary for Van Winkle, this is why. Pappy's birthday. Pappy's turning 150 this year. Can't believe he made it this far. This is really cool. I threw this in just in case anybody was going to be around Kentucky over the next few weeks, and they wanted to get the chance at it. Heaven Hill is offering an exclusive tasting for the 25th anniversary of their acquiring Bernheim Distillery. Let me get this so you can read it. Join us in celebrating the 25th anniversary of Heaven Hill acquiring Bernheim, and with it, the Old Fitz brand, with a series of exclusive tasting events honoring the legacy of John E. Fitzgerald. Tastings will be held throughout the first 3 weeks of April. Tickets are $299 per person. Oh my goodness. Plus taxes and fees. Here's a whole rundown. I don't know exactly what the dates are on this. I am assuming that you are going to, if you do attend this, you are going to have the opportunity to pick up some of these exclusive bottles, these Old Fitz bottles. I do know that there is a one of these very special Old Fitz bottled in bonds that has been sitting in a vat that was from Bernheim that is being released in honor of this anniversary as an Old Fitz bottled in bond. So again, let me try to say that again. There was a Bernheim wheated bourbon that has been sitting in a vat that was, I think, 14 years old at the time that it was dumped, that is being bottled now for this anniversary, and I think it's supposed to be this red label here too, that it's being released as a commemorative special edition bottle for this anniversary. So not sure what the distribution is going to be like, not sure if it's only going to be available at the gift shop, but do know that is going to be out there in some capacity. I've seen some people getting it as a media bottle. I do know that it is, I know it's out there. So it's very intriguing. It's very exciting. I just want to try it. My great aunt was an Old Fitz drinker, and around the time that she would have been around the time that she would have particularly been an Old Fitz drinker, it would have been Bernheim. So I'm just curious what this would have tasted like around that period. So I gots to know. So that's that. For anybody who hasn't seen this yet, too, Sazerac with their Barrel Select has updated the barrels that are available for the Barrel Select program. Weller 12 is now available as well in the barrels that, in the brands rather, that are available to be picked. I don't know. This is really intriguing to me for a couple of reasons. For one, all the things that we might have been saying about Sazerac and about Buffalo Trace over the past few years about how there's no way that they could have seen the future and there's no way that they could have prepared for the bourbon boom, and the shortage that they likely were that they would have faced and that they did face. with the popularity of brands like Weller, there's a strong possibility that we were just wrong. Because now it's just like, oh, it looks like it's just there. I mean, honestly, if it's being offered, if 12-year-old weeded, bourbon from Buffalo Trace is just being offered as a single barrel, there's a very good chance that it's just been sitting there and it's just ready to go. Does that mean that we could see an influx of Weller 12 soon? Possibly, potentially. Or they have a batch of sour barrels. I don't know. But either way, Weller 12 as a single barrel is making a comeback. It's very peculiar to me. Wilmington Piper, what's up, WP? Cheers to you too, brother. Hope you're doing well. I'll go ahead and get something else poured up while I am still talking. A little bit of Hardin's Creek. You can see it on my little window. It's the 108 month Jacob's Whale. Moving into some new releases, and then we'll get into some labels. The 2024 edition of Michter's 10-year single barrel is here, folks. In April, Michter's will begin releasing its 10-year Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Our team was humbled and deeply grateful when a few months ago, Michter's became the first American whiskey to be named the world's most admired whiskey, stated Michter's president Joe Magliocco. Our production team has always given tremendous consideration to what they feel is all ready to release. But after this honor, the stakes seem even higher. There's Joe. Hi, Joe. Basically, all you need to know, Michter's 10-year bourbon has a suggested retail price of $185 per bottle in the U.S. Not sure what the distribution is. Probably about the same as it always is. But I am looking forward to seeing what this release will be like. It's not always been my favorite throughout the years, but I still I get excited at the very least just to, give it a red hot go. It was one of those first kind of premium bourbons that I tried, where even though I wasn't blown away by it, I was curious about the experience of it. So. You've probably seen this week, but 15 Stars has announced its new First West Bourbon. It's a blend of 15, 9, and 7-year-old straight bourbon whiskeys from America's First West. It's from Kentucky, Indiana, and Tennessee. 106 proof. $139 a bottle. Josh Randall, hey Perry, you got a little one coming. Yes, indeed, I do, Josh. Good to see you. Here they are. We just announced it this past Saturday. But we got a baby on the way. Very excited. Josh, I hope you've been well. It's good to see you in the chat. Oh, thank you, WP. Award-winning 15 Stars is proud to introduce the release of their latest expression, First West Bourbon. Fans of the brand may be familiar with the previously released First West Rye, and following a similar approach, this new expression showcases distilling excellence in America's First West, marrying straight bourbon whiskeys, as we said before. And it will be available on the shelves of select. It'll be available for select retailers in Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, Missouri, Georgia, Louisiana, Florida, Massachusetts, Illinois, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, and Nebraska, as well as online through Sealbox and 15stars.com. Could you play some Leonard Skinner, please? I would get down on my hands and knees if I could drink some Leonard Skinner Hell House whiskey, please. That's right, Leonard Skinner has launched Hell House whiskey. I saw it in Liquor Barn today, and I passed. I passed on it. Maybe I'll try it someday. I'm not in the mood. I don't want to right now. I don't want to spend that money. Maybe somebody else will. And I'll try it sometime. But I don't want to. Look at these two guys. Look how happy Ricky Medlock and Johnny Van Zant are to be presenting you with their... Look, they look so happy. They just look thrilled. Have you ever seen two guys happier to be releasing a brand of whiskey? Come on. You're putting out whiskey. Get hyped. Isn't rock and roll supposed to be fun? Beverage industry, give me a break. Putting the pronunciation for Leonard Skinner. As Leonard Skinner approaches the 50th anniversary of its groundbreaking debut album, pronounced Leonard Skinner. God bless, man. The band announced the release of its highly anticipated new American whiskey, Hell House Whiskey, paying homage to the famous cabin where it crafted countless legendary songs. They have 60 albums? How do they have 60? They have 60 albums. 60 albums. Leonard Skinner has 60. They have 60 albums? Leonard Skinner is partnered with Bespoke. I'm sorry. I didn't even realize that, like, it's like, I know they've got like a handful of like super popular and iconic songs, but 60 albums? 60 albums. Some of them have to be live, right? Like live albums. I'm sure glad they explained that. None of us know that. Exactly. Lynn and Skinnard. Leonard Skinnard. It's not even great phonetics. It's not of a soft eye on Leonard. 30 greatest hits albums. Mike Meyer, what's up, buddy? I hope you're doing well. Those Van Zant boys are prolific. A ton of live albums. But, like, it doesn't... The way that they make it sound, though, is like 60 studio albums. 80% of them were after the plane crash. Jeez. That's bleak, but it seems right. They partnered with Bespoken, a craft whiskey maker. They got 150 medals. 60 albums. I'm gonna be going to bed tonight. I'm gonna be thinking about Leonard Skinnard's 60 albums. Brian, that's all good, buddy. Hell House Whiskey will be available online at hellhousewhiskey.com with a suggested retail price of $49.99 for a 700 whatever. They're touring with ZZ Top. They were just in Lexington or something, I think. I don't know. Doesn't matter. There's a new Abraham Bowman Oak Series. 60 albums. Why would you say that? 14 studio. Thank you, Mike. It just broke my brain. Like, if it had been 60 studio albums, like Leonard Skinner. I gotta move on. This is a 12-year-old bourbon in French oak. It's 100 proof. It's $100. This was announced today. It's the launch of Abraham Bowman Oak Series, a new set of experimental American whiskeys joining the Abraham Bowman Limited Edition collection. It explores cask maturation in different oak varietals from around the world, as well as the effect charring has on the flavor of whiskey. It is blending a mix of liquids aged for 12 years in French oak barrels, both with and without char. That's weird. I'm not wrong, right? That's weird. Both with and without char. So what? It's like, I barely know what that means. This is only being released through an online lottery, which you then have to pick up in person in Virginia. So, I don't know. It's so weird. This is the weirdest. Anytime that Bowman does a release, it is always the most convoluted process. And it is the least... There is no... It's impenetrable. It is absolutely impenetrable if you are unable to travel or if you don't live at least close to the distillery. And I'm not saying that there aren't Kentucky distilleries who do the same thing. There are plenty of them. It's just, I don't know. I'm sorry, but I don't want any of that without char trash whiskey. I just want to, like, I don't understand. Who goes, you know what would be great? If we made bourbon without charring the barrel. That'd be good. You know what people love about bourbon? Charring the barrel. Hey, you know what'd be great? Let's not do that. Let's do anything but that. Hey, Greg, why don't you come up? Look, you see this barrel? No, I know that it normally has like we normally run it through fire. No, what we want you to do, just hock a loogie. Just spit in it, bro. We might clean it out. Let's age it in pine. That makes me want to throw up. That sounds disgusting. Who's got plywood? Hey, Tim, I hear, or maybe trash cans. The last time that a distillery aged anything in trash cans, I almost got my head knocked off. Let's not talk about trash can bourbon. Is toasted considered not char? Technically, no. If I remember correctly, I don't remember the exact ins and outs of it, WP. I think because it doesn't actually penetrate the surface of the wood, like it doesn't create story for another time is right, Brian. Because it doesn't actually create like a chemical change to the wood, it's not actually charring it. It's just like a surface level difference. So yeah, toasting I don't think is technically charring a barrel. This is pretty cool. I'm gonna try to speed through a little bit more of this so I can get to, because I still got quite a bit. But the eclipse that is happening on April 8th has its own official bourbon. Casey Jones Distillery in Hopkinsville, Kentucky is marking the occasion with a unique offering for whiskey lovers and stargazers alike. They are releasing their Total Eclipse Kentucky Straight Bourbon at $50 for a 750 bottle, alongside the reintroduction of the Total Eclipse Moonshine, priced at $30. These spirits are crafted to complement the rare celestial event. They're available online with select retail availability for the bourbon in Kentucky and moonshine in California, Georgia, Kentucky, Illinois, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, New York, New Jersey, and Wisconsin. Bottled at 100 proof and aged for 2 years. It's a blend of corn, wheat, rye, and barley. Weird tasting notes. Master Distiller A.J. Jones. Lineage of distillers and bootleggers. Blah, blah, blah. It's a base for cocktails like the Moonarita. Okay. Sorry, I think the music's been too loud this whole time. I apologize. Come on. Okay. I don't think that did anything. Anyway, Templeton has announced new Fortitude Bourbon, first whiskey distilled in-house. This is very exciting, especially if you are a fan of Templeton. 55% corn, 40% rye, and 5% malted barley. That is a very high rye content. I'd be very curious to see what this tastes like. At least 4 years old, but non-age stated. $40 a bottle. Available next month, so in a few days, actually. Available nationwide and in select international markets. Coffee's starting to wear off. 92 proof and non-chill filtered. Signifies a historic milestone as the hometown crafted distillery unveils its first bourbon release and maiden distillate from Templeton Distillery, Iowa. Very cool. All right, some labels to get to real quick before moving into a couple of review bottles. Now, this may look like a regular old Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond, the old 7-year-old. Came out a couple years back. But no. Towards the bottom, that says Private Single Barrel. Gasp, I say. That's right. Looks like Heaven Hill's going to be doing a single barrel program with the Bottled and Bond bourbon, which I think is crazy cool. I would be really excited to try this. I would very, very much love to get one of these barrels. I would love to be able to do this. But yeah, hopefully about $40 a bottle. I don't know. Remus Babe Ruth Reserve. Oh, wait, I forgot to see if there was a back label. There's no back label right now. 111 proof. A medley of 3 mash bills from 3 different years. 2016, 12%, 44% rye. 2017, 70%, 46% rye. And 2018, 18%, 36% rye. 10,624 bottles. Ooh, boy. The Bambino meets the king of the bootleggers. 2 larger-than-life icons of the 1920s responsible for putting the roar into the roaring 20s have come together once again with Remus Babe Ruth Reserve. A special collector's release inspired by the legend himself, Remus Babe Ruth Reserve pays homage to the Sultan of Swat with a medley of 3 high rye bourbons. Joe Dickinson, hello. Is that the new Gatsby? I don't know. Maybe it's in conjunction with the new Gatsby. I do not know. Could not tell you, but I love the label. I'm a massive baseball fan. I would love to be able to get a bottle. I think that would be super, super cool. Dixon's got a new edition of the 2XO brand, the Sneakerhead blend. Don't know anything about it other than it's got a label out, man. I tagged Eric, Whiskey Mutant. He said, already working on my drip pairing. It's the 5th release of the Icon series. I'm assuming it's still going to be 104 proof. But hey, I've really enjoyed the 2XO line so far. I'm looking forward to finding out what it's going to be like. Old Forester Bottled and Bond Rye from the 117 series. There's not a whole lot to be said about this one. This small batch of rye whiskey reflects the unique flavor of the unusually cool and wet fall of 2014. I don't remember that fall particularly well. Not that I was like, oh, hey, I guess I did turn 21 that year. So maybe that's why. No, that's not true. Bardstown Bourbon Company Origin Series Kentucky Straight Wheated Bourbon. This is, of course, a bourbon that has come out before, but this is at 106 proof. 53% corn, 39% wheat, 8% malted barley. And then last but not least, for sure, an honorary bottling of Wild Turkey 101 proof bourbon in honor of Jimmy Russell's 70th anniversary. This is an 8-year-old bourbon, which I am very, very excited for. I hope that this has a wide release. I hope that it's going to be just as fairly priced and equally as available as regular Wild Turkey 101. But who is to say? We will certainly find out in due time. But that is a wrap on the news. Man, that was a lot to get through. Just about an hour's worth of news. Hadn't even gotten to a review yet. And only on my second pour of the evening as well. What's everybody been drinking? What have you been enjoying this evening? You know it won't be. I do know it won't be, Tony. But you know what? A man can dream. A man can have dreams. He can be hopeful. He can be exuberant. He can imagine that things are much more I don't know. They're much more what's the word? Why can't I think of this word? I don't know. My brain's broken. Booker's 2017-03. Which batch is that, Brian? I'm excited to get into this Booker's. This is the first Booker's I have bought in years. And I saw it, and I figured I'd take a chance. 5-year Clyde Mays pick, 105 proof. I don't know if I've ever bought a Clyde Mays pick before. I've had a few, but I have not actually bought one myself. But the funny thing is, I don't know if I've ever been, blown away by him. Man be dreaming? Yeah. I be dreaming. Nothing yet. Too stressed making travel arrangements with 2 other people that don't like each other, but we're all coming together to say goodbye to a friend that's going into hospice. Goodness. That doesn't sound fun, Tony. Oh, front porch batch. Oh. Widow Jane Decadence in the glass. That sounds nice. Cheers to you, Joe. Hope you've been well. We got to be doing the same thing we were doing in 2020. Figuring out what the hospital pour is going to be. We got plenty of time. September's a solid 6 months away. 5 months away. Funny thing is, when Chad and Sarah are landing back in Lex, I'll be landed in Vegas. Oh, that is funny. All right, I'm gonna have one more regular old Jim Beam pour before getting into what I'm gonna be reviewing. I say regular, but it's still a single barrel. This is from my friends over at Jackson's Wine and Spirits here in Lexington. Wonderful, wonderful store. It's a great Knob Creek pick. I don't understand why my camera focuses and then gives up. I don't know. Oh, man. I don't know why. I feel like this week, and I don't even think it's been like particularly busy or busier than normal. Man, it just feels like it's taking it out of me this week. Beat. Worse than losing our friend, I'm flying on Spirit. Tony, man, you gotta... I don't know which is worse, personally. I'm gonna let you be the judge there. You're the one going through it. I am sorry to hear about it, though, buddy. Best wishes to you. Hey, do want to remind you, though, not Tony, because Tony's done enough. You've done enough, Tony. If you want to support the show, you can do so through the Stream Elements link in the description below. It is our method of super chatting. We call it Snuffy Chatting because of our main man back here, not the professor, Snuffleupagus, though, the patron saint of TIMBP Live. Hashtag Snuffy Chats, of course. They are pinned at the top of the chat, both on Twitch and on YouTube. If you use that link, your message pops up right here at the top of the screen. It's much appreciated, just in the same way that you would super chat, Snuffy Chats, go to support the show. The only reason I say it to remind you is because it's not as convenient or as forward-facing as something like super chats are. But if you cannot do so, just being here is enough. I appreciate y'all. You guys are the best. Oh, this is a good Knob Creek pick. All right, I'm going to pour some Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company TIMBP Weekend 23. Get your VIP tickets before they're gone. Yes. I tell you what. For the next 5 minutes, if anybody wants to get tickets for TIMBP Weekend, who's watching, the link is available for the next 5 minutes. And this is outside of Patreon. It's Memorial Day weekend. I'll even throw up the hotel link as well. After those 5 minutes, I will be deleting those messages. Just keep that in mind. And if you sign up, you may be able to meet Backwards Hat Tammy. All right. I got an 11-year MGP single barrel bourbon for River Roots in my glass. That sounds nice. What's the mash bill? High rye, low rye, wheated. 4 grain? Did they go crazy? Has anybody heard of that triple R Russian River rye that Eric found for the podcast last week? Or this week, I guess? Because I had never heard of it before. And then he just... only reason he got it was because he thought it looked cool. It's the craziest thing. And then I had that stupid Monk's Road toasted bourbon. God, that was horrible. It was one of the worst bourbons I've had in recent memory. Absolutely just trash. Tony, I don't know if I've ever met Backwards Hat Tammy. Honestly. All right. While y'all ponder on TIMBP weekend, I'm going to go ahead and get a couple of things poured up for this here review. I bought 2 bottles that I genuinely have not bought in years. And I saw them sitting adjacent to each other on the shelf. I thought maybe now's the time. Ooh. Thought maybe now was the time and place to pick up a new batch of Bookers and a single barrel of Bakers. The Bakers is 8 years, 7 months. The Bookers is 7 years, 7 months, and 8 days. Bakers, of course, is 107 proof. The Bookers is 124.5 proof. I have not seen a review yet for this Bookers anywhere. Even going to the Booker's website, like the official Booker's website through Jim Beam, they don't have images of the bottle. So this might be a TIMBP exclusive. Pear Bear might have the first official review on WhiskeyTube, a whiskey influencer review of Booker's 2024-01 Springfield batch out there. Which it's an honor just to be nominated. Or I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know. Let me just give it a little. Okay, well, there was one on Reddit. There's one on YouTube. Okay, yeah, I wasn't the first, but I'm close. Anyway, we'll get there. I kind of stopped buying Bakers once they moved away from the old bottling, and I don't really have a good reason why, other than I just liked the old bottle better. But the thing is, like, I think I was even doing myself a disservice because this is older bourbon in general, right? Like, those were pretty consistently, 7-year-old bourbons. And I mean, I've seen a few exceptions, 8 years almost exclusively. So and Tony does say the price went up too. That is fair. So that could be the other thing that stopped me from picking up bottles of it. The Bookers, the Bakers, and the Candlestick Makers. I always say that to myself. I'm going to move Baby Ritter up a little bit. Little Ritter critter. That little face. Can't believe there's going to be another one, y'all. Crazy. Yeah, so Bakers did go up in price. As Tony said, I got this bottle for $80. Just found one at Costco, but it's a 7-year. Yeah. Okay, so this, like I said, this one was 8 years, 7 months. I also thought this would just be a good comparison between a 7-year, 7-month Booker's and an over 8.5-year-old Baker's. It just had, pretty different proof points as well. So let's get into this. Get into this here, Baker's. Graphic design bias is definitely a thing, Zover. I'm not even going to deny it. It's very jammy. It's jammy and spicy. There is a lot of cinnamon spice going on, but like a blackberry jam that is very present as well. What did I just get? Okay, aside from like the oak. Aside from the oak and the alcohol influence, there is a very strong bread note that's in there as well. It's really nice. It's just a very well balanced nose. I'm even. Hey, it's me, Anthony. Thank you for being here, Anthony. Even at 107 proof, I don't feel like I'm wanting for anything on it. It's just all. It's very present. I'm very content with the nose of this bourbon. All right, let's see what's happening on the palate. You know butter syrup? Like Mrs. Butterworth's? It's like that. But light. It's like a light butter syrup. Hey, Marty! Congrats, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, I had to put Baby Ritter number 2 up on screen because I like looking at them. It's a girl. I think we can. I don't know. Can we say it's a girl? I don't know. I'm gonna have another baby girl. So I might have spilled the beans on accident. I don't know. Hello, Miss Franchi. Cheers and congratulations. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. I think they get to decide that. All right, Tony. It's good to see you, my friend. Let me go back for another sip on this Baker's because I could be missing something. I don't know. There was a little bit more of like a spice kick up front, a little bit more citrus, but it's still very like light butter syrup. Oddly enough. Not bad. I just feel like at 8 years old, and for a Jim Beam product, it could be so much more. Especially for $80. I mean, really, at 8, almost 9 years old. The palate is left wanting. The finish is great, though. The finish really is great. Pairing Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company with Dr. Pepper is nice. Pair everything. Yes, indeed. Dr. Pepper with Lawrenceburg Bourbon Co. That's interesting. Have to try that sometime. I'm not a big Dr. Pepper guy, though. Arsenic Culture. What's up, friends? Hope you're doing well. Probably Jason, I'm imagining. Good to see you, though. Cheers to you. We need to talk soon. We need to do a big old Lexington crossover episode. We just need to get a Lexington podcast coalition going. I've been talking about doing this for years, and it's time to make something happen. Hey, Papa Ritter. On what, the podcast coalition? You gotta have a podcast first. Oh, on the podcast? You've been on the podcast. We do need to get you back on sometime, though. Everybody say hi, Papa Ritter. We do definitely need to get together, though. Y'all go listen to Arsenic Culture as well. They're fantastic. They're another great local Lexington podcast. All right. Well, the bakers. Hey, Gary. You're starting a Lexington Podcast Coalition LLC. Maybe. LPC LLC. We have something from Chicago to taste. Oh yeah, the that one Bourbon County Stout. I forgot. Yeah, the LPC LLC. That would be fun. Anyway, Baker Single Barrel. Good. Not great. Not my favorite thing that I've had recently. Might need a little bit of time to open. I don't know. I'll come back to it soon and see if it's improved. But in the meantime, back to the depths, Cretan. Now, on the other hand, let me get a sip of water. Thank you all for being here, by the way. If you haven't liked the stream yet, please do so. And subscribe if you haven't done it. Excuse me. But regardless, thank you. Anyway. The big dog. Booker's 2024-01 Springfield batch. Not a whole lot of reviews out there for it, so I'm excited to put my hat in the ring. The first release of the Booker's Bourbon 2024 collection is Booker's Batch 2024-01 Springfield batch. This batch is named after the small town in central Kentucky where Booker Noe was born and raised. Many people think, I'm reading from the card, by the way. Many people think Dad was from Bardstown, the bourbon capital of the world, but it wasn't until later in his adolescence that he moved into the Beam family home there. As a boy, he grew up in Springfield, Kentucky, a small rural town about 18 miles down the road. While the town has grown over the years alongside bourbon and a few other industries in the area, it was a farming community with many residents working in tobacco when Dad was young. Many years before he became the master distiller he was known for, he got his sense of hard work from his time as a farmhand in Springfield. One thing most folks don't know about the Springfield area is that it was where Abraham Lincoln's legacy began. Beyond that, I'd say Dad is probably one of the most recognizable figures to come from Springfield. Even when he moved away, he spent a lot of time going back for family dinner, holidays, and even the extended no family reunion every summer. You never forget your hometown, and this batch is in honor of Dad's. Hope you enjoy it as much as he would have. From Fred Noe, this is 7 years, 7 months, and 8 days old, 124.5 proof. Yeah. No, Springfield, Kentucky. Tony. Be historically accurate. Last year's Booker's releases, of course, were hit or miss. Mostly miss. But regardless... not regardless. It's not been a great few years for Booker's. So I'm excited yet apprehensive to get into this one. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to start with the nose. Tony, Lincoln was literally born in Kentucky. You can see the cabin he was born in. He was born in Kentucky. Oh, boy, here we go. Drinking this Booker's 2017-03 makes me sad about the last few years' releases. Understandable. This nose smells like cherries, and that's about it right now. Cherries, potpourri, a little bit of like kind of pine needles. He was a Kentuckian, though. Golly, it's got a lot of alcohol on the nose. It does not smell like Beam. It really does not have the Beam nuttiness. That especially that Booker's is known for. That's so disheartening. Brian, I'm hoping for it too. Maybe the palate's going to be different. I don't know. Let's find out. Boy, that finish just ain't it. That finish is not it at all. The nose is getting better. Why are so many of these recent Booker's releases bitter wood and cherry cough syrup. Why are they insistent on going so off profile that they are completely unrecognizable as Bookers? It's infuriating. This isn't Booker's. This is barely Beam. There's just nothing. There's nothing redeeming about this. It's almost like cherry cola. Like it almost reminds me of No Nuts. Tony, it's not nutty. It's got no peanuts, no roasted nuts, no Carnival State Fair bag of shelled or whatever. It is devoid of Beam nuttiness. The problem is, there are shades of a good bourbon in there. There are parts of it that are genuinely good. But there is so much of it that is not. It reminds me of bourbon where I taste it and I just go, ugh. This is Jim Beam, man. It's Jim Beam. It's Booker's. Booker's isn't supposed to be average. It's not supposed to be subpar. This is $100 bottle of bourbon. It shouldn't be this average or below average. I will even give it the benefit of the doubt. I'll cleanse my palate. I'll go back and try it again. That turned it into more cherry cough syrup. What has happened to Booker's, man? Why do we have to wait so long for them to get their act together? What is this? What is this weird pseudo? It just doesn't make sense. Fred knows better. Beam knows better. Hopefully Freddie knows better. Sure, it's only 7 years old, but so much of Booker's has been only 7 years old. I just don't know, man. I just don't know. The terroir is angry. It feels like it. Also, what up, Justin? Good to see you. It just feels like they gave up on Booker's. It really, really feels like they went, well, this is what we can do. No use in trying. That's what I'm saying. Sip a While is only 7. What the heck are they doing at Beam? I don't know. I mean, maybe Sip a While had like 12-year-old bourbon in it too. I don't know. But this just isn't worth $100 a bottle. It's not. It's not worth going out of your way for. They toss their hands up. We're done here. I mean, again, maybe it just needs time to open up. I don't know. But I'm worn out with it. I'm tired of like holding out hope. That Booker's is gonna like turn a corner again. But like, yeah. Oh wait, like this year? Or in past years? That mess up? I passed on last year's releases at Costco. That makes me sad. The 03 release was okay. I've still not had the 04 release. Hey, I'm walking, just drinking here. But yeah. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of being like optimistic about Booker's. Why must you let me down? Time and time again. I haven't had Baker's 13 in a while, Brian. I don't think since like the first year that it came out. But I mean, I will even give it a little. Just to make sure it wasn't like neck pour funk. just to make sure. I have my bottle of Country Ham from a few years ago. It's the only one I own and will own. I loved Country Ham. It was such a really good batch. I think that might have been the last batch that I really cared for. I don't even want to. I don't want to get sad. I don't want to get more sad than I already am by like going back and looking at the other older batches. Because I know I'm just going to get... I'll just get more depressed. It's just not great. I can see so many like twinges. I don't know. It's so close to being like good at the very least. And it's just not. I don't know. What's up, Mike B? Kitchen Table was good too. I do remember really liking Kitchen Table. That was a good batch. What was the one with the football? Was that Pigskin Batch? Is that what that one was called? I don't remember. I have one from 18, but I don't remember which. Was 2018... Was that Granny's batch? Or was that 2019? I don't know. I honestly do not know. Pigskin batch. There we go. Kitchen Table was 2018-04. It was amazing, and I have an unopened bottle. There we go. Granny's batch was after Country Ham. That was such a solid run of Bookers, man. God, what? That's so depressing thinking about, like, that few run of Bookers. How, like, it was just banger after banger, and it was like just so exciting. And it's like, even though some of them weren't as good as others, it still was like, yeah, but I can compare them. I can be like, yeah, some people liked a couple of them better than others. I'm rambling at this point. It's just... Where's that one comment from you, Brian? Who's bringing a good Bookers to share with the VIPs? Sign up now. I don't know. That's what I'm going to leave you with, because I am at 2 hours. I've done about all I can. They were also $60 to $70. That is true. But I've done all the damage I can for this evening. It's been a whole lot of fun. We covered a crap load of information tonight. 2 reviews, an insane amount of news. It's been so much fun hanging out with you guys. Support the show on Patreon, of course, if you haven't done so already. Patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. Follow on social media at mybourbonpod. Find all of our apparel and merchandise on bourbonshop.threadless.com. Send us questions or comments to thisinmybourbonshop@gmail.com. You can send a barrel ring for the podcast to 859-428-8253. Leave us a voicemail or send a text message to that number. If you want to send us samples or mail, you can send it to the P.O. Box, P.O. Box 22609, Lexington, Kentucky, 40522. All of this information is in the description below. And then last but not least, if you want to be a part of This Is My Bourbon Weekend 2024, you can find VIP tickets in the Patreon up until next Wednesday when they are available for the general public. There is no guarantee that they will be available for the general public next Wednesday. So act now if you do want to be a part of all of that. Hotel link will be there as well. It's going to be at 21C in downtown Lexington Memorial Day weekend this year. You do not want to miss it. We're extending the weekend by a day. It is going to be fantastic. I love y'all so much. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for watching. It's been a great stream. I will see you next week. Until then, though, I am Perry, and this has been TIMBP Live. See you real soon.